welcome to you, Maria, and thank you for joining us on this webinar today. So as part of the American Chamber, not only do we talk to members, we also speak to other influential members within various sectors of the economy. But we like to pride ourselves in promoting knowledge sharing and experiences. And this is one of those areas that we feel falls into our pillars of knowledge sharing. So today will be an interactive session. Maria has asked if you can put up your hands during her presentation. If you want to ask a question or make a contribution, there will still be an opportunity towards the end to ask any last questions. But please feel free to put up your hands and we will respond to the hand raising. So thank you very much, Maria, and over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dudu. And a warm welcome to all the members of AmCham that have joined this presentation and various representatives coming through from different sectors of our economy. Thank you so much for joining this presentation. So I'll not introduce myself, Dudu. Thank you very much for that introduction. Indeed, my mandate at Econet is to ensure that I harness, together with a team of experienced, knowledgeable, excited, and curious engineers, developers, quality assurance testers, project managers, you name it. It's a robust team, AI architects, data scientists. So I do work with this amazing team to ensure that we harness the latest technologies in artificial intelligence, machine learning, cloud computing, ensuring that we deliver in the safest way possible through various cybersecurity techniques. So during my presentation, I'm going to take you through a definition of what artificial intelligence is, what key statistics are looking like across the African country and indeed across the whole globe, the impact on the business for those that have leveraged on data and artificial intelligence in their business, those who have infused AI into their business, what value are they reaping out of it and what has been the impact on their businesses. Then I'll take you through AI-driven leaders, that is the ideal qualities of an AI-driven leader, especially in this, era where we are dealing with disruptive technology that is driving competitive advantage. Then last but not least, I will further touch on the applications of AI. Please bear in mind that I'll try to give examples of applications of AI in each and every slide. I'm going to be giving you case studies in each and every slide so that you do appreciate the power of artificial intelligence. So I'll start by defining what artificial intelligence is in itself. And this is really a technique that, the implementation, it's actually the implementation or the deployment of computer systems that are capable of mimicking human intelligence or human reasoning. So these are systems that are able to mimic the way we reason, the way we think, the way we do things, and the way we actually solve problems and make decisions. They also mimic how repetitive tasks are executed by human beings. So it's a very powerful tool that we are actually talking about. But how does it actually embark on executing such tasks? How is it able to mimic human behavior? It uses a number of techniques or methods and algorithms that I'm going to explain. And the different techniques that AI uses include machine learning, natural language processing, interactive voice response, computer vision, as well as deep learning. So I'll just briefly touch on each of these techniques. So if you look at machine learning, we are saying the algorithms, the machine learning algorithms that are inbuilt into the AI-driven systems and platforms, they enable the system to be able to use data in order to train the models. So they can use what is called supervised learning. So under supervised learning, this is the capability of AI models to train based on labeled data. Right? This is non-data, it's labeled, it's much easier to learn from, and it's much easier to actually extrapolate business outcomes or to classify inputs with this kind of data. So I think you've been interacting with this type of learning in chatbots, in spam filters, or in recommendation engines. I'll just explain what a recommendation engine and how it works in this instance. This is a very critical application of artificial intelligence. So a recommendation engine in the telco space, for example, is an engine that is able to learn from the subscription data that a customer, maybe as Maria, have purchased a bundle of voice data and SMS. That subscription purchase is learned. The amount of money I've spent on it, or how I repetitively purchase the same bundle or roughly the same bundles month on month or week on week, it's all learned by a recommendation engine. It also learns my preferences. It learns my sentiments as I express disgruntlement or even satisfaction on social media, on other platforms as I use various products and services. It learns from those sentiments. It also learns usage patterns, movement patterns, buying patterns, and as it learns, it then is able to recommend certain products and services that are ideal for my usage, ideal for my lifestyle, and even ideal for my pocket in terms of affordability, because these are engines that repetitively learn. Then if we come to unsupervised learning, we are saying these machine learning algorithms are able to analyze unlabeled data, and they learn over time. They uncover hidden patterns, and they're able to then extrapolate certain business insights by learning each and every time they analyze the new data or unlabeled data that is presented to them. And applications of artificial intelligence around unsupervised learning, I can give examples. As you can see there, fraud detection. So for fraud, no company, no organization, I can give an example of a large, supermarket chain that is operating in Zimbabwe with TM Pick and Pay. We also have OKMart. These supermarkets, there's no way that they can learn or be totally prepared for a certain fraudulent activity. But if they implement a fraud detection system that is powered by AI techniques like machine learning, they are able to use unsupervised learning technique in order to prepare for possible instances of fraud. So they're able to analyze unfamiliar data and be able to extrapolate certain patterns from that data and be able to warn OKMart to say, at this pace, it looks like a fraudulent activity is actually emanating from this pillar of your business. Then we have reinforcement learning. This one, it teaches models to make decisions through trial and error. So as the trial and error, did someone?
Okay, please do. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So I was saying on the mail that
hello?
I think he's muted, Samuel.
He's not audible anymore. Please come through. All right, so I can proceed, right, Dudu? And then he can always come through.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. So with reinforcement learning, the models learn by trial and error or through trial and error. So what happens here is the model can execute an algorithm, and if it makes the right decision, then a reward in terms of points can be given to the bot. But if it makes a wrong decision or gives a wrong answer, then a penalty is given. So the advantage of this is that as the bot is learning or as this AI-powered system is learning, it then becomes more accurate as more iterations of this algorithm are executed. So it means as we use this bot more often, it then begins to learn that if I am asked a question to say, what data products and services do you have at Econet? It now knows to say this is the accurate answer and I'm supposed to give these packages. And this is a wrong answer because I got penalized for this response before. Then we have natural language processing and interactive voice response. These are critical techniques that we use, especially in the virtual assistants. These are available 24/7. And I think in this age that we are operating in, it's a highly volatile, it's a VUCA environment that we are operating in. And I really recommend every company that is represented here, or every sector, be it the retail, manufacturing, mining, agriculture, health and pharmaceuticals, telco, we are in the telco industry, whatever industry, government and NGOs, it is a high time that we all have what we call a co-pilot. A co-pilot is a virtual assistant that is able to assist your customers at any time of the day, 24/7. So if you look at businesses that have leveraged on the co-pilots or the virtual assistants, this actually directly translates into revenue because it means your products and services are being marketed by the virtual assistant. They are being explained to your customers 24/7, even when you're off duty or you have actually knocked off for the day. So it's very important that we leverage on these chatbots. I'm going to also illustrate how as Econet, we have leveraged on Yamurai. Maybe you know Yamurai very well. And I would like to say this is a platform that we have developed in-house through the team that I've explained of AI developers and engineers and data architects and enterprise architects. And it's something that we are also able to customize should any corporate be interested in leveraging on the power of NLP and IVR there. Then we have computer vision. Yes, somebody wants to come through?
I think that was the disruption. Carry on.
All right. Then there's computer vision, and computer vision is what enables us to use IoT devices, for example. And IoT devices are very handy in that they capture data about the environment, for example. They can capture atmospheric pressure, temperature, wind speed, wind direction, humidity, atmospheric humidity. And if such devices are used in a plant, a manufacturing plant, for example, or a processing plant at a farm, like the tea plantations in the Eastern Highlands there, it means the sensors are able to capture what the temperature is and they report back into an AI-powered system. And the system is able to make a decision to say, is this temperature or humidity or pressure ideal for optimal production? If not, then it can actually trigger an action, which is to run the fans or to switch on a heater so that the environment is maintained at optimal for maximum production. Then generative AI, I'm going to speak about generative AI in the next slide. This is a subset of AI that harnesses the power of transformer models and massive scaling of data. In summary, generative AI is a technique that is able to generate content, be it text content, video, or images, in response to the different requests that we pose to it. So I'm just going to quickly take you through how AI has evolved over the years and how we are applying artificial intelligence even up to this day. So when AI first evolved, it was just able to, perceive the environment, perceive speech and different, senses. So perception AI simply refers to the ability of AI systems to sense, interpret, and understand information from their environment. But we find that AI has since evolved, and as we look at it now, we are very well conversant with generative AI, most of us. And this refers to a type of AI that can generate new content, such as text, images, music, and videos, as I mentioned in the previous slide. And when we look at generative AI, this is where you see your chat GPTs, you're using your DeepSeek, you're using, for us, we've used generative AI to design Yamurai. So Yamurai is powered by generative AI. But of course, we've continued to revamp the platform, and we've got so many techniques that are now powering Yamurai. Techniques like natural language processing, like DALL-E, and as well as IVR, which is interactive voice response. Then moving to another technique, very interesting technique. This is now agentic AI. We are now in the agentic AI phase, and there's no better way of explaining agentic AI than using a very good example of a world-leading retail chain that is actually leveraging on agentic AI as we speak. And I don't know, I'm sure you've all heard about the name Walmart. Walmart is one of the largest retail chains in the world, headquartered in the United States of America, but it's running in about 23 or so, more than 23 countries around the world. Do you know that Walmart is leveraging on agentic AI at the moment? So they've got a chatbot called Sparky. They've now implemented agents into Sparky. And when we say agent, we are just referring to AI systems that are capable of autonomously making decisions and autonomously making an action or performing an action. So what Walmart has done through Sparky is that the bot is now able to go the extra mile and analyze customers individually. It's able to analyze the history of your buying patterns. How often do you buy your groceries? Which products do you normally buy? How frequently do you buy them? What's your usual budget? And for those who actually do embrace IoT devices, the sensors, the cameras for virtual reality, Sparky is also able to analyze your pantry. It's also able to give you reminders when it's time to go and do your routine groceries. And it's even able to give you suggestions of, which brands are on promotion this month. You always buy oats and you always buy Django oats, Dudu. But an AI agent is infused into Sparky that is able to just do the brand comparison in terms of quality, in terms of promotion. And it's able to relate to you to say, you know what, Dudu, you always buy Django oats, but do you know there's another brand of oats that is of equal quality, the same quantities, the 1 kilogram that you always buy, but much cheaper and easier on your pocket. So agentic AI is the phase that we're in right now. We are also embracing agentic AI in our coding cycles, where we've got agents, AI agents that are powered to actually come up with a code. So they can come up with code for our developers, and all our developers have to do is to customize the code, optimize the code, but otherwise the bulk of the work will have been done by the agent. So I guess you can see that this is really going to drive product launches, and it means the whole cycle of product development up to launch is actually going to be made much shorter. Then, of course, we are slowly moving into the physical AI. We are already seeing signs, we are already seeing applications of physical AI in the self-driving cars. Physical AI simply refers to the integration of artificial intelligence into systems that interact directly with the physical world. So I guess the self-driving cars, we have seen them. And how comfortable will you be to be operated on by a robot? So the general robotics are really coming on, and they're being designed to be able to assist even the doctors on the operating tables, to assist and to accurately target the right organ at the right time with precision and be able to operate on a human being. So having said that, embracing AI is no longer an option. I think from the first slides that I've taken you through, you can really see that embracing AI is no longer an option, right? It's an imperative, and it's what's driving strategic decisions. It's what's competitive advantage. It's what's driving operational excellence and sustained value creation. It's only those companies that have been flexible enough to embrace data and AI and actually leverage on data and AI in order to make decisions, in order to extrapolate actionable business insights. So it's one thing for a company to have vast data sets, but it's another to be able to use AI and machine learning algorithms to extrapolate business insights that cannot be done manually in Excel, to extrapolate actionable insights that I cannot do within seconds or minutes, and I would require days to do it in Excel. But if we look at companies, the leading tech companies like your Google, your Microsoft, your Meta, your Alphabet, your Apple, these tech giants have all done something in common. They have leveraged on data and AI in order to offer what are called personalized offers to their customers. They don't offer the same storage capacity to me as they offer to Ivy or to Dudu or to Sizani. They offer knowing that Sizani has got this pattern of data usage every week, every month. Sizani mainly uses his storage for files, for his work files, to back up his work files. Or Maria uses her cloud capacity to back up her images, to back up her photos, to, keep history of her images over so many years. So when they offer the size of capacity that I need every week or every month, they actually offer something that when I see it, I actually jump and say, exactly, that is what I needed. They are also able to analyze my affordability based on the history of my purchases of similar subscriptions. So if we look at the tech giants, they have actually quintupled their exponential growth, whilst so many companies, whilst over 40% of companies actually closed down, according to the Forbes list of the Forbes 500 list of companies. They reported that 40 companies became obsolete and they fell out of business, and their business models were rendered invaluable by the VUCA environment. And yet the tech giants actually quintupled their exponential growth. This is all attributed to their leveraging on data and AI. If we look at some of the statistics from across the African country, I really like the picture that they're painting here. They're really showing that across the African continent, countries have appreciated the value that they can actually get from AI. And on my top left, there is an interesting statistic that AI could add 14% to the global GDP. This is equivalent to up to $15.7 trillion by the year 2030. So the way we at Econet, for example, translated this statistic is that we need to grab our share of that $15.7 trillion. And how are we going to do that? By infusing AI into our functions, into our operations. And when I say infusing AI, I'm saying we've got a program across all the functions that ensures that everything we do on a daily basis, all our tasks, are using an AI model of some sort. Data capturing is done by AI-driven algorithms that ensure that as our customers are using various platforms, we are already harnessing data sets from over 88% of the population of the country. Therefore, from that population, we infuse AI to ensure that we extrapolate the correct insights about our customers. Gone are the days when we used to group our customers into the high valued customers, the medium valued customers, and the low valued customers. Now we value each and every customer, and we call each customer a segment of one. That segment of one has got unique pain points, unique requirements, and therefore we need to craft, through the power of hyper-personalization, packages that speak to that individual customer. So if AI is that valuable, what is it that, a survey was actually executed by PDC.com. And in this survey, they tried to really understand what value they got from an AI-driven platform, or just implementing a robust digital transformation strategy. And these are the results. Top of the list, they all thought, 40% of the survey participants thought that AI and a robust digital transformation strategy can improve operational efficiency. 35% said it helped them meet the changing customer expectations, because we are operating in a VUCA environment and customer requirements are changing each and every day. So just being able to leverage on data in order to make decisions, or to use, I spoke about the sentiments analysis tool. It's very important that we understand our customer sentiments. That's another big application of AI. What are our customers saying about us on various social media platforms? We have got a sentiments analysis tool, and what it does is it gives us visibility into our customers' pain points. What is it that they're expressing frustration about on all these platforms? And we use those sentiments to revamp our product offerings. We also use, I spoke about the fraud detection system, I spoke about the recommendations engine, and we also have the business intelligence platform. What a business intelligence platform will do is integrate to all these data sources and be able to extrapolate dashboards or reports with the actionable insights that I spoke about earlier. So 26% of the population said it will help them improve new product quality. 25% said it would help increase the design reuse. 24% said it would reduce product development costs. Remember, I spoke about the agents in the previous slide, agents that are able to autonomously come up with a piece of code that is actually able to mimic human behavior and perform a task. Those are agents, and they actually reduce development cost, and they also reduce the timeline of launching products. 21% said it would help introduce new revenue streams by having visibility into untapped markets, right? 14% said it will help reduce cost of poor quality, and 5% said it would help increase first pass yield. So this is for the agriculture field, for example, right? If artificial intelligence and embarking on a robust digital transformation journey that I explained in the previous slide have got tremendous results, as we saw from the survey results, what is it then that is drawing back implementation, or what is drawing us back in the various companies that we are representing, or the various sectors that we are representing today? So a research again was done by Futurum, and what they discovered was, okay, they managed to classify the different stakeholders of a corporate, of a company, of an organization, and they tried to see who is limiting or drawing back the success of the implementation of AI strategies and digital transformation strategies. And the results are shown there. The highest were the CEO or board directors, followed by, some said no one. So if it's the directors that are limiting or holding back, is it out of fear? Is it out of resisting transformation? And for those who said no one is limiting, if no one is the problem, then is it just a sign of complacency? Or is it a sign of organizations that are just not ready to transform or not ready to go on an AI or digital transformation journey? So why isn't AI being adopted much faster? Some said it's the senior executive team, which is the C-suite, right? Other than the CEO. Some said it's the department heads, middle managers, and very few thought it was the line managers. So if middle managers and employees are the least blamed, does this mean they are very keen to execute, but they're just waiting for the vision? And does it mean the upper stakeholders are not making decisions fast enough, or they are not implementing these decisions fast enough, or they are not guiding the vision clear enough? So this is food for thought. Let's think about this. If we are representing any group of employees that are highlighted there, let's take it from today onwards to be the change makers and to be the ones that are going to drive implementation of AI strategies as well as digital transformation strategies. I spoke earlier about, the qualities that are ideal for a leader, a forward-thinking leader who wants to apply artificial intelligence or make decisions that are driven by data and be able to, have that competitive advantage and be seen to compete with the tech giants that I spoke about earlier on. I think there's got to be a significant level of keenness, willingness to learn. So there's got to be willingness to unlearn, relearn, and upskill. So it's very important that we learn the technologies, the disruptive technologies that are within our midst. Right? It's very important to establish a clear business objective so that you can drive teams as you actually apply artificial intelligence within your environment. Set an appropriate level of ambition. I liked a word that I came across last week when I was making another presentation to say there's got to be a certain level of a person has got to be inquisitive. An individual has got to be inquisitive because it's only that drive that urges us to learn and to apply and to revamp our platforms, right? Look beyond pilots and proof of concepts and start looking at proof of value. So it's very easy for us to just run a proof of concept. Does this technology work? But gone are the days when we do that. We've got to be able to set the expected value before we even run our proof of value. So we call them proof of value within our organization because it's not just about the technology working, it's all about the value that the technology is going to bring. Prepare people for the journey. So it's very important to embark on change management program, obtain the necessary data, as well as to orchestrate collaborative organizations. So I like the platform that we are on right now, organized by AmCham. I really appreciate the platform that you've created, the collaboration that we are going through. It's very important for us because it helps us network and it helps other corporates actually learn on how we have leveraged on AI, the pitfalls we ran into, the gray areas that we still have, even around policy, around government legislature, around what are other countries doing, what has GDPR, for example, stipulated, and how can we learn from that. So it's very important to network and to discuss some of these technologies and we learn from each other. So I'm not going to dwell much on the case studies that I do. I think I did. You can then have a look at these case studies. But the picture I was just trying to bring out from these case studies from T-Mobile and AT&T. These are the leading telecoms companies in the United States. We also have Verizon. So, it really paints a picture of how they leveraged on AI in order to cut costs, significantly cut costs by over 30%. and to establish cost savings of over 10%. So these mobile operators really taught me, how AI could improve even the value of the business. I remember when I was analyzing their financial statements, and I hope I'll meet, the leaders or the executive leadership, or even the C-suite leaders, and also the implementers who ran with these projects at T-Mobile as well as AT&T, just to get an understanding of what it took, how many years it took, how many years did they spend in research and development alone, how much did they invest in research and development alone, which then resulted in the success of their implementation of AI, or infusing of AI. So if we look at T-Mobile, they do have their 24/7. I spoke about the chatbot, and they did implement their bot, right? And what T-Mobile did is they didn't only launch a bot that is customer facing. T-Mobile has got over 30 chatbots. And these bots are actually co-assistants or co-pilots to employees within the organization. To me, that was the striking development that came out of T-Mobile. They actually implemented chatbots that help the front end, what do you call them? The front staff that help employees, that help customers. So your customer-facing employees, your people and culture team, the technology teams, especially technology operations, they actually use these assistants powered by AI agents in their day-to-day work, so that they are very quick to come up with method of procedures, for example. So the ultimate picture is what you're seeing in pink at the bottom there, where they managed to be industry leaders in most of these KPIs that you're seeing at the end there. So they were industry leading in the net income, adjusted free cash flow, core adjusted EBITDA, as well as stockholder returns. If we look at AT&T, it's the same there. They leveraged on all these tools that I also spoke about, applications of AI. I spoke about, if you look at revenue opportunities, they managed to increase their revenue by about 5 to 10% just by leveraging on AI-powered offers. Remember, I spoke about the targeted offers or personalized offers. That one is a definite revenue generator. Predictive maintenance, this is where they cut costs by over 30% just by being able to predict that certain hardware on their network would go down. And they leveraged on machine learning for this by analyzing patterns and history statistics of equipment going down, what alarms would have occurred, and therefore how can we maintain the equipment before it actually goes down. They leveraged on enhanced brand loyalty, increased productivity, enhanced customer experience, as well as improved network operations. So in all this, they infused AI. As you can see, 35% of their revenue there was attributed to the virtual machines, that is the virtual assistants that I spoke about earlier, your personalized support. Okay, I won't go deep into this slide. It's just summarizing applications of AI and the value that we are set to get. I think I've touched on the new business models, being able to harness on the new market segments, hyper personalization. I spoke about the segment of one, leverage on data in order to segment your market into a segment of one. Each customer has got a unique pain point. I spoke about AI-powered assistance and personalized support. I spoke about improving productivity and efficiencies through implementing AI agents or co-pilots that are able to assist your staff members. I spoke about improving competitive advantage by just leveraging on data, and I gave you the leading tech companies in the world that have leveraged on data and managed to quintuple their exponential growth, whilst over 40% of companies became obsolete in the year 2024. So most of these I spoke about them. Let me see, in the interest of time, I just want to give you time to also ask questions. So this slide is just summarizing some of the key applications of artificial intelligence across different industries. So the telco industry is very close to my fingertips because that's where I am. But I can tell you that we are using artificial intelligence to reduce. I think the most prominent one is in customer experience, where we have significantly reduced the long queues in our shops, to reduce call waiting time when our customers call 111, and to improve even the call waiting time just by launching our Yamurai chatbot. So I'll then show you, a video that we launched. We launched this video first to our staff members just before we went live, but it does summarize all the features of Yamurai. We also have an intelligent bot, which is the ChatGPT of Zimbabwe, and this is called EcoChat. I'm sure you have dialed *449# in order to chat with EcoChat. Okay, so I'm going to also demonstrate that to you shortly. In the banking and finance industry, it is very important for us, again, to leverage on the bots, but also most importantly, to leverage on business intelligence tools. These tools come in to actually integrate to various data sources and guide the investment decisions that a bank or a finance house can actually make. These systems are also very important in understanding your customers and being able to lend your loans to the right customer, the right amount at the right time. So I think this will significantly reduce the risk exposure of banks and different players in the finance industry there. Retail and industry, I think I spoke about Walmart as an example. Walmart implemented a number of agents. They even have an associate agent. This one, it serves the frontline employees with task assistance, HR, as well as store workflows. They also launched Marty Agent, and this one is aimed at serving their suppliers, their sellers, their advertising for a smooth onboarding process, smooth ordering, and supply replenishing process within their shops. They also launched a developer agent, like I explained earlier, to help their developers in timelessly developing code on various systems. So, okay, I think I spoke about, why would want to leverage on data and AI. It's in order to make strategic decisions, to drive innovation and growth, to improve operational efficiency, to improve customer experience, as well as to reduce our risk exposure. So allow me to just play this. Maybe before I play, do we have any questions? Do we have any?
So we've got one question from Sizani online, where he's asking, from your experience in the sector, what jobs has AI significantly created or eliminated in Zimbabwean industries?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So the way we have approached the whole job space, especially in the organization I work for, we have been exposed to various learning platforms. Your LinkedIn Learning, we've got Udemy for Business, we've got the Google Learning Platform, we have many learning platforms, and we have been encouraged to learn key skills, key AI skills from these platforms. Why? It's because AI has significantly changed the way we execute our daily tasks. So instead of jobs being lost, new jobs have been created where we would not go and look for a data capture at the moment, because our platforms are already capturing data as they are being used. But what we have now done to the data capturers is to equip them with AI skills so that they no longer worry about data capturing, but they are able to execute or run a query, an AI query that extrapolates business insights for them. And once they get the insights, what they now focus on is translating that into an implementation that needs to take place. Given this data that you have, how often should you be replenishing the store? How often should you be replenishing Chitungwiza store with the iPhone 16, for example? So gone are the days when they needed to go and manually count the devices or manually track over the past months. How many iPhone 16s did I sell? How many Samsungs did I sell? But they are now able to understand the insights that are coming from the various systems that we have deployed. In other organizations, or research has actually shown that indeed, if we do not learn at the pace at which technology is growing, our jobs will be rendered obsolete. And indeed, they will no longer be necessary. Yeah, so it will really render some jobs obsolete or unnecessary. But in our organization, I'm happy to say we have embraced learning. Our learning hours are tracked every quarter, and I've got to be accountable for my learning hours. So what that has done is my job is not obsolete, but I now have more tasks that I can do leveraging on AI. I hope that answers you, Sizani.
Thanks for that. I think it's a very important point to talk about, Maria, because we talk about technologies. You talked about the evolution of technology. So certain countries have reached a platform where they're going into physical AI. Here in Zimbabwe, we are still exploring generative AI. Potentially a few companies have gone into other levels.
Yeah.
So it's really important for us to then strike a balance, I guess, to say we need to learn fast, but at the same time, we also need to evolve so that we've got jobs that, the people who are finding themselves obsolete have got something to do.
Yes, that's correct, Dudu. And we have also learned significantly just by engaging. I know there's the Google Gemini. I'm sure you're aware of Google Gemini and the AI platforms that have been unveiled by Google. OpenAI is another way we also consume APIs. So the programs, the exchange programs, and the projects we've worked on together with such players has really helped the teams to upskill, and it has really helped the teams to really start looking at how they can leverage on agentic AI and these new techniques of AI. We have also gone into partnership with NVIDIA, and that partnership has also availed a learning platform. So all these partners are availing learning platforms, really buttressing the importance of upskilling and reskilling so that you enhance your current job with the new AI skills that are required and be able to make better and accurate decisions.
Yeah. Thanks, Maria. There's a question from Prince. Prince, you can go ahead with your question.
Thank you so much, Maria and Juju. I would like to ask, at EcoCash, we once automated reconciliations with an Indian company called Technodices. So I just wanted to ask if you were to rebuild that today with AI, would you keep like the fixed rules versus the use of machine learning, like for things like fuzzy matching? Would you run it in real time or batch? And which KPIs would you use to measure also the return on investment? And also for other forward-thinking leaders, would you have like something like a starter playbook and some common pitfalls that you experience when you used Technodices to automate the reconciliations process?
All right. Thank you, Prince, for that submission. So if we were to automate the reconciliation process, and I'm glad that we have been part of a project that was set to automate the reconciliation process. So the pain point that comes through the reconciliation process in itself is that there is the need to then, you have sequence numbers, you have transactions that are coming, you want to match sequence numbers with transactions, and you also want to be able to marry each transaction to a budget line item. Have we drawn from an existing budget? Do we even have a budget line item for that expense? So those are the main pain points that are associated with the reconciliation process. So what I would give as pointers for this process is, number one, there is need to first automate the process in itself. And then after automating the process itself starts to generate data. Because for an AI model to work, for machine learning to work, there's got to be data. Yes, there's data we can source that we can use to train the models. Yes, but it's also good to couple this with data that the process is now generating, especially in our environment as EcoCash. After digitalizing this platform, we have automated the process. We are now generating data. We now infuse AI models that are there to intelligently align expenses, sequence numbers, transaction IDs, transaction amounts to the actual budget line item that we are drawing from. So that is the process I would go through. Then you spoke about this particular system having to learn. Would it rather learn in real time, or would we do batch processing at certain intervals? So from my experience there, whenever we plan to deploy AI-driven systems, we have now started leveraging on GPU capacity. And this is where our partnership with the likes of NVIDIA have also come in handy, because they are going to unlock that vast GPU capacity that we need. We also have implemented a Cloudera system that is very good. It's got GPU capacity. And whenever you've got GPU capacity, it means that system is able to not only store, manipulate, and extrapolate business insights from data, but it's also able to do it in real time. So my suggestion would be, if we now we can take a gradual approach where we start with the normal technology and then gradually grow into GPU capacity and be able to process that data in real time. The advantage of being able to process your data, especially as EcoCash, in real time, you are able to quickly detect, maybe is it your agents or in a certain region or in a certain province, the number of transactions they are pushing at any given time, and the ability to marry those transactions to an authentic source of the funds. I think that's also very important for you, to be able to marry your funds or your transactions to an authentic source of the transaction. Then how would you measure return on investment? Was that the question, Prince, the last one?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, this question came up because I was seeing we're inputting the batches for the reconciliations, and the system doesn't do the reconciliations like automatically, but someone
Okay.
has to manually input the batches for the transactions. So considering the amount of investment that would have been put, so
Yes.
yeah, also yeah.
I get the challenge, and thank you for expressing this challenge. I think we can always touch base after the meeting as well, so that we dive deeper and understand what work had been done and where can we come through and support you and infuse artificial intelligence into your process. I do understand your pain point. It's very important to then perform that return on investment, or to then measure. So how we have incorporated the measuring of that success right at the start of a project, we agree on what we call success metrics or success criteria. And these success criteria should then guide even the system. How many transactions can it handle at a time? I think that is the major check major success criteria that we should always outweigh with these vendors when we start working with them. How many transactions, how many concurrent transactions can be handled at any given second, at any given minute? I think those are key metrics for platforms like EcoCash platform, so that when we come to a live environment, or are we going to do real-time processing or batch processing, so that when you're now in a real-time when you've now launched in the real market, you are able to then measure to say, but it seems like the system was hit with 1,000 transactions, and for half of those transactions, the system is reporting system busy. It obviously now reflects to the fact that the system can only process 500 transactions a minute. So yeah, I think being able to have a success criteria document, it's very important before we start. And it's also very important to, at the start of a project, to also design what we call the business intelligence platform. This is what we have done for all projects that are now running within our space. As the project starts, we already have data scientists, we have data architects who come in to design the appropriate business intelligence platform for this particular system. What intelligence do we expect from it at the end of the day? What data sources do we need to integrate into for it to be able to extrapolate the necessary business insights? And we infuse that right from the design phase until we deploy. I think the mistake that most projects make is that BI seems to be a tool that we think about just before launch. Oh my God, how are we going to report on this? Then we all of a sudden think we needed to design a BI tool. It's very different from a reporting tool. It's an intelligence tool. So yeah, let's catch up and we can see how we can assist in that front.
Hi. Could I ask a question? Sorry, I couldn't raise my hand.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure, go ahead. And then there's another question from one of the NGOs that we'll take after this. But go ahead.
Super, thanks. So I wanted to find out, obviously, when you're collecting or you're using these AI platforms, your data becomes a feed of some sort to the AI platform that you're using. And my concern is that in terms of people just going onto various platforms and using those AI platforms,
Yes.
like data leaks, my issue is around data leaks, especially because you're taking your organization's information and you're putting it out there onto an open platform, and you're not quite sure where is this information going, for start. That's my first question. And who now has ownership of this information that has been put on these platforms? Are there platforms that we can use and rely on that will secure that data and not share it? Or are we, by using the platform, giving them consent to actually use our data for anybody else who's going onto these platforms? That's one area. Well, that's probably two questions. And then from that perspective, what are the implications with our local regulations, like from POTRAS and stuff? Are we violating anything, or are there any statutory? We love statutory instruments in Zimbabwe, so I don't know. Are there any regulations that we need to be aware of that we might be violating unknowingly when we are using these platforms, and what does that mean in the long run? I hope I've been clear, because
Yes,
Thanks.
you were clear, and your concerns are valid. These are concerns we also had, and I'm glad to share with you the different implementations you can also go through in order to safeguard your data. So we are cognizant of the many tools that are available. Microsoft Copilot is a tool. And if you look at Copilot, for example, when you're using your email or when you're using Microsoft PowerPoint, Excel, or even your Word, you can see that Copilot does assist you as you are going through your various tasks. So what we have done as an organization is to say, whenever you have a tool that you would like to leverage on, an AI tool, which is not what the organization has onboarded, you've got to submit a request first to say, I've got this tool, it works like this, and I'm hoping that it can assist me in executing my work job or my work tasks in this way. What we do is we analyze the tool. We've got a security department that analyzes the tool and ensures that it's not going to take the corporate data out of the organization. And all the employees are aware of this requirement through what we call an AI use policy that we have crafted within the organization. So it's very important for you to also have such a policy within your organization that stipulates the guided use of AI tools, right? And the need to always communicate when you want to use a tool. Then number 2, there are also tools, cybersecurity mitigation tools that are available on the market that are able to safeguard your data as you use the various enterprise-wide tools within your organization. They are there to ensure that your data is safe, your data is kept protected. I would also want to give examples like your Microsoft Defender. If you can implement your Microsoft Defender for devices and for servers, implement your Microsoft Sentinel. There are many tools that are there to try and safeguard data within our working environment. There's also Guardium, IBM Guardium, which is very good at safeguarding our databases from manipulation. I think EcoCache team, the EcoCache guy who spoke, can also attest to say Guardium is a very critical tool in their environment because it protects all the customer entries against manipulation, be it from external sources or from internal. So there are many tools that I could list, but those are the few examples I've given you. Then you also spoke about implications on POTRAs. Indeed, we have to be very careful not to violate POTRA's regulations. So POTRA's has unveiled a program that's called the Data Protection Officer Training and Certification Program. It's very important that you also have employees. They don't limit the number of employees. They run these classes repetitively over the quarters of the year. So it's important to have a few employees going into these sessions throughout the year. And the outcome is they come out knowing the different policies like the data and AI policy that they've stipulated. They come out knowing the government bills that are actually being crafted. I know that the parliamentary portfolio for ICT is also championing an AI use policy for the country to ensure that we use AI responsibly and we use it to solve problems, and we use what is called explainable AI. How has AI helped to come up with this solution? Where has the data come from? All that is going to be covered in that government bill. So it's very important to have knowledge of those POTRA's policies and especially to attend the Data Protection Officer training. What POTRA's has also stipulated is the need to have what is called a Data Protection Officer within each and every organization. So that officer is responsible for ensuring that whatever you develop, they communicate to POTRA's. Is this above board? We would like to deploy this cloud-based platform. Is this above board? And as long as it's not exposing what we call personal identifiable information to the cloud, then they will okay it. But where we are now, it's very important to be in consultation with POTRA's. I hope I answered most of your questions.
Yes, I think you did, actually. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Faith.
So, unfortunately, we've run out of time, Maria. Thank you for being such a gracious presenter and answering all the questions. But can I ask you to answer 2 more questions, but on email? Then when we circulate the recording of today's presentation, we will then put your responses to the last 2 questions, because there were questions. There was one from Voice of Youth and Children Trust, and then there was also one from ST Mawire. So just so that at least we've covered all the questions that are being asked by the participants. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
So at this point, I would just like to thank you, Maria, for a very insightful presentation. Do you still want to go ahead? I know you had a video. I'm not too sure how many minutes the video will be. Do you want to go ahead and present that and then we wrap up?
All right, so let me, if it's one, let me play the next one. Yes. On EcoChat. So please go ahead and dial *449# and interact with this general knowledge platform.
College life, freedom, friends, fun, until your stomach starts rumbling in the middle of a lecture because you are hungry and your classmates laugh. Tinashe, first-year student at home, never grumbling stomach, unable to cook proper meals. He was always thinking of his mom's cooking. Every time he tries to cook, everything goes up in flames. His mom's words echoed in his head.
You have in college.
Why don't you use EcoChat AI? A concerned friend advised him. So he whipped out his phone and visited www.ecochatai.co.zw on his smartphone and got easy-to-cook recipes and tips. In no time, he could cook a meal. Yes, sadza this time around. Thanks to EcoChat AI, visit www.ecochatai.co.zw or dial *449# to get started. Ask questions and get answers in no time. EcoChat AI is a generative AI technology, a first in Africa. It responds in seconds with text-based answers like human responses. EcoChat AI features include multiple question and answer exchanges, content summarization, language translation, PDF queries, and more. Whatever the situation, whatever you need to know, EcoChat AI is brains on speed dial. Explore, learn, achieve, and rise with EcoChat AI today. EcoChat AI, brains on speed dial, powered by Cassava AI.
All right. So that's EcoChat, and the advantage is we have built these solutions in-house and we are able to customize them should you want. I mean, such platforms can be used in the education, fraternity, agriculture, various sectors. We are able to customize them for you. Thank you so much, and over to you, Dudu.
Thank you so much, Maria. And I really hope the participants will be dialing in and calling you and asking you further questions and getting assistance. This has been very insightful. And I think for, a Zimbabwean business, you are ahead in your sector, which is very encouraging. And I think a lot of us need to be encouraged by that, to do more and to do better. I would hazard a guess and say, is *449#, is that reinforcement learning?
Yes. So this one makes use of various techniques. That's the good thing about AI-powered platforms. So you can continuously infuse. You start with you can infuse your reinforcement learning. Yeah, but with any question that you ask, it will definitely give you an answer. And this is powered by the many. We are consuming OpenAI APIs. So those large language models come with vast knowledge. We also have our own large language models that we have infused there. We are also working with various universities. So if they are represented here, it would be very good to continuously work with them so that we infuse, the languages in there as well. So it's a multilingual platform. Can understand vernacular, but we continuously revamp the platform so that they become more and more accurate.
And I think it's so important for us to be able to input into something which is homegrown. I think,
Yes.
a lot of us, when you're asked about, AI or chatbots, we're always referring to either, software that's based in the US or in Europe. So it's good to know that there is something being developed locally.
Yes, we have developed significantly locally. There's an amazing team that is working of AI developers, the architects, it's just amazing.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Maria, for taking time out of your busy schedule. And thank you as well to the participants. I know they also don't have a lot of time, all the work that needs to be done in order to stay agile and resilient. So thank you very much, everyone. We always look forward to having you on our platforms. So please continue to log on to our website and stay updated on our social media pages. Thank you so much, and thank you for the participation. Thanks, Ivy, for all the admin and organizing behind the scenes. Thanks, everyone.